Hey everybody, Mekbeasy here, and I believe it's been a long time since I've sat down and just ranted a little bit. And I think it's about time we have a little talk. So just relax and sit with me, make yourself comfortable. I've never been one for the mundane, the socially accepted. Uh, I've never been one for monotonous, repeated routines. Uh, More or less try to stand out a little bit. And that was never something that I set out to do to make myself different, to like make a statement. It was never really the goal. But I would say that I've definitely put myself out there as an independent as soon as independence was an option, as early as I can remember. And I've always wanted to maintain that kind of an outlook. And in that same, divine realm of possibility, I've definitely put myself in a couple of predicaments in which I wouldn't have been in, granted I had chosen a different route. Um, this being one of them. If you're unaware of it, this is a hookah. Hookah's got real popular in America for some fucking reason. And the last, I want to say 4 years or so. And I know it was partially as a result of returning soldiers from Iraq, because this was not something that we did out here until mildly recently. But I enjoy it. I like to sit and have people over, like yourself, and sit down and talk and kind of have a social outing of senses. But at times it's a little bit different. I had a friend of mine. Give me a sec. I remember I gave a good friend of mine a little bit of bullshit about smoking cigarettes. I grew up with asthma. And I had family members my whole life who smoked cigarettes, smoked cigars, anything that could be lit on fire and inhaled orally. But they used to smoke, and I had some friends early on, young moments back, teen years, things like that. Not even teens, actually. Some of my friends started smoking cigarettes at like 10. I mean, if I had to say so, I didn't grow up in the best place in the world. But I had a real good friend of mine. The way that he put why he smoked cigarettes, his reason was that he said that it, and I coined this a lot now, because it really did sit with me. And I don't think he meant for it to sit that way. I just think it's something that hit him at some point, or maybe something that he's heard before. But it's rested with me, and this is tobacco, and tobacco is tobacco. Whether or not, however you choose to ingest it, it's bad for you. And he had told me, when I asked him why he smoked cigarettes, his response was that it was the slowest form of suicide that he had ever attempted. And that's the kind of shit that, at the right time will really hit you. And it'll make you question yourself and question, choices and things, and where are you at, what put me at that moment, the only thing that went through my head was, what put me above him? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've had suicidal moments, thoughts, tendencies, whatever, but I've never considered things, like something that I'm pretty sure at the time would have hurt me severely. Smoking. And I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke anything. So someone who's got a slight distaste for life in general, or possibly, like I said, suicidal, for whatever reason, is concerned for their health. And, having a concern for how healthy you are, or not doing things that could kill you, and yet, there I am. Right? So, real question boils down to why. What is health? And what is being healthy? We have no gauge on that. It's not like we have some metaphorical health bar hovering somewhere just within eyesight. And we know exactly when or how bad off we are. Or if we choose to do something that maybe it'll hurt more or less. We don't know that. And yet we will consciously make choices not to do certain things because we've been told that they're not the right thing to do. I don't like to think that there's some sort of superfluous flux that you can somehow manipulate your options by eating healthy and being active, or being a quote-unquote healthy person, and choosing to smoke. Choosing to smoke cigarettes, choosing to be a smoker. And yet, I'm on a diet, I exercise, whatever. Well, what makes that part okay now? Have you somehow made ingesting a toxin okay as a result of the fact that you're healthy in every other sense of mind? And what I ran into more than anything was people who were healthy, or people who lived healthy, having this very pompous upper class kind of a reasoning behind why they were capable of doing certain things that I wasn't doing because they were healthier, because they lived a healthier life, or because they chose not to do those things, so they're in a better position in health than I was, as if there was some sort of a race or something that I was losing in. But I had no other option. I was born with a lot of shit. I was born with muscular dystrophy. I developed scoliosis. I have a really poor spine. I have poor muscle function and muscle strength, and there's nothing I can do about that. Medically, there is nothing I can do about that. And you're at this point where I can't fix those things. And so what part of my health am I preserving? And why are those things so much more important to me? And yet I never sat there and was a pack-a-day smoker for 3 years of my life or something. There was nothing like that ever as a part of my life. But it wasn't like I was healthy to begin with. I didn't have any right to try to live healthier than the people who were living healthy. And at that point, somebody who's already closer to death by default is in some way being healthier than the person who's slowly committing suicide. It's a bizarre concept, and I think about it more and more now because I've chosen to live healthier than normal. I'm doing this as a form of cooperation and assistance with the rest of my family. I'm not the only one trying to be healthier. And I know it's about that time that I start trying to be healthier. I'm at the prime. I'm at the beginning of the rest of my life. I'm at the cusp of where am I now and where am I going. And I have to be able to grasp the importance of not being pathetic. Not falling off and having a bad heart at 22, or not having, or having, high cholesterol or something because I ate like a goddamn Viking. I got some friends of mine who are a lot healthier than me in every other sense of the word, that aren't on strict eating habits like I am. And I'm not doing it for the sake of my weight. I'm skinny. I mean, I'm small, 6'2" is one thing. You're heavy by default at that point. But I'm small. 170 pounds or something like that. It's just under not okay on the BMI. And, I worry. I worry because, am I okay? Am I doing more, at any rate, at the point where I'm at right now, am I doing more damage to myself than I would be prior to these choices? Am I healthier than someone who's not like me? No. Am I choosing to be healthier later? Yeah. But do I have a later? I don't know. And who am I comparing to? Me? Because if I compare to me, then doing anything different at all is better. So it's a conflict. It's a serious conflict that I have to deal with all the time. It's about my own personal health, my own personal well-being. And there's more wrong that I can't control. Fuck, nobody can. I wish I have no control over that. But there's just shit that happens. There's things that you can't control. Drugs have always been a problem. I'm on pain medication now. And at one point I was on antidepressants. And the antidepressants are actually solely responsible for another serious psychological issue I've got. At least I tell myself that because it helps to accept that there's always been something wrong, and I'm not very aware of what it is that was setting off those little sparks of insanity. So the mania is something that you can only hope to suppress, but you can't hope to control. I don't know. I guess that's a little over the top. But I've been dealing with a lot of other shit, and it's why I'm not here. It's why you see me a lot less. There's really simple things, like people. I don't like dealing with people. I mean, I like dealing with the public, but I hate drama. I think everybody hates drama. I think that's a given. And honestly, I feel like I just said something that I feel like is a little abused and a little overused in a sense. Is that people are like, oh, I hate drama. I don't want drama. Nobody wants fucking drama. Like, nobody wants to deal with other people's complications or somehow making your life more complicated. Nobody wants that. But sometimes those things will come up and hit you when you're least capable of handling them in an orderly, mature manner. I think that I had at one point in my life, in a period of time in which I least needed to do that, I had made my entire life about curing drama, as if it was some sort of a disease that was taking over. but it's not, I don't know. I guess it's a result of being a people person. uh, I can handle the general public, but I feel like what I'm trying to say is when things start to involve me directly, I get a little nervous. And when those nerves kick in, I start making a lot of bad decisions. And I like to say things without thinking about it. Uh, I'll put up a wall that you really, I mean, under no circumstance will I let you in. You know, it's an insecurity thing. And within that wall, I have truth and honesty and integrity. And I feel like that is like the layer in which it goes, you know. The truth of what's going on, my honest opinion about it, and the integrity in which I'm willing to defend by upholding those first two, you know, core morals. And that's, as somebody who strives off of my ability to withhold my own morals, that's important to me. I need desperately to be a man of my word. And that, it's super important, and at the same time it's super difficult. You know, it's incredibly hard to maintain an image of, you know, the cut and dry stand-up guy. Somebody who's got no intentions for themselves. And the best intentions for you regardless of what it is. And that's hard. You know? Sometimes I wish I could just fucking lie to people. I really wish I could just say something and have somebody go, well, okay, I guess so, and drop it. But it's never like that. It's never like that. I've never once been given a situation in which I haven't gone, well, this is actually what happened. Except for recently. You know, that's part of what I'm dealing, or what I was dealing with. I'm still dealing with internally, but it's what I was dealing with recently, emotionally and morally. I lied to somebody very close to me, and it damaged me, and it damaged our friendship, you know, and it I think it did more damage to my psyche than it did anything else. You know, it wasn't a backstab style lie. It wasn't like I did something in lieu of their emotions. I did something out of fear. You know, the least common denominator in this situation, I acted out of fear. And it was the fear, you know, the fear of what? Is what I was asking myself. Well, what am I afraid of, and why is sacrificing truth worth just dismantling my honesty? And I don't know. Because I don't know what that is. I don't know what it was that I was defending. I was protecting myself, but what part of myself was it that I was protecting? So you've got this situation where you're infatuated, amorous, of somebody to an extent, to a level in which you're concerned for the friendship between the two of you. And you know that making the move, so-called, you know, the prophetic shift, is going to be a fucking disaster. Like, you know it's not gonna work. You know immediately it's less than a shutdown. It's a complete disaster. It's something you've got no control over, and it's something that you lose. I can't define what it is that I was afraid of losing. You know, and I lied. I lied because I knew that if I said the right thing, then it would have been over right there. I was afraid of being hurt, but hurt what? You know? Hurt what? Hurt emotionally? No. I've been hurt emotionally by fucking anything. I can be hurt emotionally by a TV series not going the way I thought it was going to go. Yeah, what I was hurting, or what I was afraid of hurting, was that weird internal heart. Not your heart as in the one that keeps you alive. Your heart as in the one that I have a habit of wearing on my sleeve. It was a fear of rejection. And rejection does a type of damage. And that damage is unknown to me because I have no idea where it goes. But I know that I felt it. And I know I felt it a lot. I mean, I felt it more than I thought I would ever deal with. I never thought I would be one of those guys who got shot down every time. Every time, you know? I didn't think I'd ever be in that position. And now that I'm here, I wonder what part of me is being chipped away at. What is the name of that? It's not integrity. It's not confidence. It's not self-esteem. There's something else. There's something else that gets chewed on by results of those kind of things. And I was above all else afraid of getting hit there again. And I lied. It's strange because it made no sense. Because you know what happened? I fixed it. I didn't fix it because it hasn't gone anywhere. But I went back, I stepped forward, and I admitted to the lie. I admitted to the mistake. And I explained myself. I was truly honest. And know what happened? Nothing. Virtually nothing. I don't know if I'm hurt, and I don't know if I'm better. But what I do know is I'm done. I'm done with it. You know? It's rattling around in my head right now for me to want to talk about because there's part of me that wants to know what the fuck just happened. But then there's another part of me that just doesn't care anymore. I am disappointed in myself for what I did, but in the long run, I'm not. The result of my action hurt me and nobody else. And one of my biggest fears is hurting other people. I hate to hurt other people. I'm very concerned about the well-being of others above myself. Always. I've always been like that. It's been something that, you know, it's a selflessness that's a fucking curse that I can't stop doing. And as a result of that, it's got me where I'm at right now. I'm in a position right now in which Sam came second for so long that I'm nowhere. I'm in the middle of an ocean on a boat with no gas. And I've got enough radio signal to call one guy. It's like, you know, what do I do? I don't know. You know, right now I'm riding out the waves. Right now I'm letting the nature of things take their own path, their own action. I have no other option. And, you know, desperately desperately, in my mind, I want to know what it is that I was afraid of hurting in the first place. Because right now it's the only thing that's boiling inside of me. It's the one thing that makes me have this, not only a fear of being alone, even though I've been alone for a very long time, but there's a fear of being inadequate. And the inadequacy doesn't happen as a result of someone's displeasure with me. The inadequacy happens before I can even put up my own fucking argument. Before I can even state my case and get an opportunity to present that I've got something of value, I'm completely devalued. I am completely depreciated. At no time have I ever been given that opportunity. I've been stripped of it. I've been in a position where everything had gone according to plan. And right when I knew that step 1 was accomplished and step 2 was a challenge, someone else came in and ruined step 2. Someone else came in and changed the order of things. And it's like a really sick method of deformation, of corruption. And somebody had came in and robbed me of that. And I've been robbed of that many times. You know, I have no idea what that is. That credibility, that what makes you suitable or adequate in any sense, I have no idea what that was. And I have no idea what it is, but all I know is it's gone. You know, all I know is I'm incapable of structuring that as a physical thing that I can use as a tool. There's nothing there. Confidence is not my issue anymore. It used to be. And now I've got confidence. You know what happened as a result of confidence? Rejection. What I wasn't aware of is that the one thing that I lacked was confidence. I had no confidence in order to present myself to higher understandings, to the next level of things that are available to me. And once I had earned the confidence, and once I had acquired the ability and the self-respect to put myself together enough to move on and make moves and make choices, never once has it worked in my position. It has never came out with me on top. It's like a disgusting level grinding, to coin popular, RPG repertoire. There's something completely gone. And all that has happened as a result of me making more decisions is more shutdown. And there's a quote that I read that says, being rejected is okay. Rejection is a sign of attacking things that are out of your reach. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. It just means that you're willing to challenge. And people who remain in their comfort zone, people who are never rejected, have never played with their limits. From now on, from this point forward, I welcome that rejection. I welcome that knock. That violent gale force wind that blows me miles away from that pedestal. Because as long as I'm not on top of my game, as long as I remain somewhere on the bottom of that pedestal and I'm working my way up, I'll know that I'm always testing my limit. I'll know that I'm always willing to challenge myself to step forward and take on whatever it is that's trying to stop me. And when I get there, I'm going to let it stop me. I'm going to let it stop me.